Welcome back. America's manufacturers are sounding the alarm, urging Congress to lock in President Trump's tax cuts. A new survey from the National Association of Manufacturers shows 85% of manufacturers believe Congress should protect President Trump's policies to drive the American economy and innovation. They warn more than a million jobs and $126 billion in wages will be cut from U.S. manufacturers if the tax cuts are not extended. Joining me now is the president and CEO of the National Association of Manufacturers, Jay Timmons. Jay, great to see you.
Good to see you, Maria.
So we were talking about the uncertainty around, the trade situation and interest rates with Mary Daly a moment ago. This tax bill is more important than ever.
There's no question.
In the face of all of this.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, manufacturers were very excited that we had a new president in January who said we're going to get this bill done. We're going to extend the cuts from 2017. But now we have the uncertainty, as you just mentioned, that really requires this bill to be done as soon as possible. It's urgent now.
Well, now it's about stopping an incredibly high tax increase.
Right.
It's no longer, oh, yeah, we want the tax cuts. It's you got to stop this tax increase.
Right. And look, if you want to build things in America, if you want manufacturing to succeed, then you have got to make sure that you have a planned strategy, that you don't raise the cost of doing business in the United States, or you're not going to get that investment and job creation.
Now, President Trump has been able to secure trillions of dollars in new money, new investments into the United States, even as tariffs are uncertain right now, and we need the clarity there. How is all that impacting American manufacturing? Because when the president came back from the Mideast recently, and he's talking about trillions and trillions of new money, I'm thinking, where is that money going to be allocated? Who benefits?
Well, I think manufacturers are going to benefit greatly as long as we have that strategy in place. And look, it's not just tax policy. It's also regulatory certainty. The administration has been very focused on that and done a great job with that. But trade is going to be critical as well. We need to have the certainty around whatever the rules of the game are regarding, our trading practices and the work we do with our trading partners. Because if we don't have the right policies in place, and imports do end up costing us a lot of money for critical inputs for manufacturing, we can't build those facilities. So for every dollar, for instance, for every dollar of manufactured inputs that are imported, we get $1.40 of output. And so if we tariff everything the same, we may be in a little bit of trouble when it comes to making those investments.
You see, what I always look at with the president's policies are national security issues.
Absolutely.
And the fact that we don't manufacture some of the most important items needed for the American people is just incredible to me. Prescription drugs,
yeah, the pandemic pointed that out, right?
And the pandemic, taught us so much.
Yeah.
So tell me about that, because we have to get these companies to manufacture more in the United States. How would you assess the situation in that regard right now? And I know we're talking about 2-3 years to fire up a manufacturing plant if you don't have one in America.
It could take actually longer than that, especially if we don't get permitting reform done, right? Especially if we don't have the energy supply that we need, the grid that can handle all of that. If we don't have the workforce that we need, right now, there's 500,000 open jobs in manufacturing almost every month. So we've got to get people really trained with manufacturing skill sets so they can do the jobs that we want to create here in this country. And I'll say this, I don't know any manufacturer who doesn't want to grow manufacturing here in the United States. And that's one of the things I'm most proud of. Manufacturers want to invest here, but we've got to have all the right conditions to be able to do that, or it isn't going to happen.